Why hello there beautiful people, Caz the Blackheart back with another Sacramento State Legacy video here on College Hoops 2K8. And Sacramento State has had a rough start to the season so far. Last video, of course, we got decimated by Ohio State. And then in Sim, we beat UC Davis, so Sac State's sitting at 3-2 on the season. And they still haven't beaten any Power 5 schools so far, with 2 losses to UCLA and Ohio State, but now they get another shot at it as they take on Georgetown, who's sitting at 5-0, and they're ranked 16th in the nation. They're off to a very good start this season after getting bounced out in the Elite Eight by Michigan State, who would eventually lose to Sacramento State in the Final Four. Georgetown is looking to get back into the national championship picture. They were so close to the Final Four last year, and they look to finish the job this year as we get started with this one. We'll take a look at the starting lineups for Sacramento State. You got Christopher Hornsby, Clarence Foster, Benny Bills, Frank Leno, and Mark Gibson. For the Hoyas, you got Scott Newsom, Stan Christopher, Vinny Houston, Walter Nance, and Rylan Lee rounding out the starting lineup. So here we go. Georgetown wins the opening tip. Here's Houston swinging it over to Nance. Nance going to drive in right past Gibson, and he gets the layup to make it 2-0 to start this game off. Sacramento State with their first possession of the game. Pass inside to Gibson, and he's going to get the bucket. Nance called for the foul. Gibson would end up making the free throw to make it 3-2. Now here's Nance on the inbound. Inside to Lee. Lee's going to swing it over to Newsom in the corner, and he hits the three. So it's 5-3, now 5-5 after some free throws for Sac State. Benny Bills with the jumper, and the Hornets take a 7-5 lead after a free throw, 7-6. Newsom able to get Leno to jump, and it's an easy bucket there for the Hoyas to take the lead back. And then here's Bills from the corner, hits a three. Benny Bills with 5 points already in this game. 5 minutes into the game, Sacramento State with a 2-point lead. Lee gonna get the layup, and he ties the ball game up at 10. Next Georgetown possession. Houston goes up, lays it up, and gets a friendly roll as Georgetown retakes the lead. Now there's a pass inside, right past Gibson, and Lee with another bucket. Georgetown with a 4-point lead, and then here's a three, no good. Whitney with the rebound. He's going to get the bucket, and Georgetown out to a 6-point lead. Now here's Turksign inside to Earl Swoger. Swoger going to pull up from the block, and he gets the bucket to cut the deficit down to 4. Now Gibson working in the paint. Nice little hook shot, and he gets the bucket to go. And it's just a 2-point deficit now for Sacramento State. Now here's Newsom pulling up wide open from the wing, and Georgetown extends their lead to 5. Now here's Newsom passing inside the Nance, and he's going to dunk it on Bills and Gibson. So both freshmen get put on the poster, and Georgetown's starting to pull away now. It's 24-16 after that bucket. Bill's going to pull it for 3, but his foot was on the line, so that's just a 2, and it's a 6-point deficit for Sacramento State. And then here's an easy layup there. Nobody in the paint to defend it, and Georgetown just pulling away. They're up by 10 now. Under 4 minutes to go, a 10-point lead, but then Swoger going to force a turnover, and Swoger with a really tough shot, but he gets it to go, and Sacramento State's down just 8 now. Now a 9-point lead for the Hoyas, and Houston going to lay it up. Gets the bucket and the foul. Lambier called for the foul there. And it's a 12-point lead for the Hoyas. And then another 3. Bolden able to get that one to go. And Georgetown with a 15-point lead. Colin Washington going to pull it for 3. Drains it. And it cuts the deficit down to 12. And now here's Rock Turksign with the 3. He drains it. And Sacramento State goes into the half down 9 to Georgetown. A really tough first half for Sacramento State as Georgetown has just dominated them. Sacramento State's really gotten away from what has made them such a dominant program over the past few years. They're not taking as many threes, and they're not really crashing the boards as aggressively as they had before, as Lee has 11 rebounds already. But then Gibson going to open up the half with a nice layup there to make it a 7-point deficit. Now here's Gibson getting double-teamed, it looks like, but he's going to kick it over to Benny Bills, who's wide open for 3, and the freshman-to-freshman connection works out as Bills now has 10 points. Now a 5-point deficit and a beautiful dunk by Bill Queen. Nance called for the foul. That's his 3rd of the game, so he would actually have to check out for a little bit. And now just a 2-point deficit for Sacramento State, and Whitney going to get right by Queen. Dunks it on Bills, so Bills again in the poster. Georgetown with a 4-point lead. And then Foster finally going to get on the board with a deep three there. His first bucket of the game. Sacramento State starting to make a game of it, but then Queen's going to get stripped. And now here's Georgetown in transition. Houston going to hold up for a second. Passes inside to Whitney, who has an easy lane to the bucket. Leno called for the foul. And it's a 5-point lead for Georgetown. But then Bill Queen going to get a bucket to make it a 3-point game. Now here's Christopher working his way inside. Passes inside to Lee, and Hornsby just can't stop him. That's a huge mismatch right there. And now a big turnover there. Turkson going to pass inside to Hornsby, and he's going to dunk it on Newsome, make it a 3-point game. He missed the free throw, but Sacramento State hanging in there with Georgetown now. But then Houston wide open for a deep 2, makes it a 5-point game again. Now a 3, no good, rebounded, and here's a fast break. Turkson going to pull it for 3, and he's going to drain it to make it a 1-point deficit. Sacramento State looking to take the lead here. Hornsby inside, and Lambier able to get the bucket. And Sacramento State takes the lead as Lambier is able to get the and 1. Doesn't make the free throw, however. So just a 1-point lead. And then Whitney with an emphatic dunk to take the lead right back. Lambier called for the foul this time. That's his third. And now here's a free throw attempt. No good. Rebounded by Lee. And Lee going to put it up after a pump fake. And now it's a 3-point lead for Georgetown. And Newsome pulls up for 3, drains it. And just like that, the Hoyas are up 6. Jackson Steele trying to work his way inside. He kicks it back out to Hornsby, who pulls up, hits the 3, and makes it a 3-point game once again. Sacramento State needs a defensive stop here, and they're not going to get one here as Christopher gets the bucket. Steele called for the foul, and Christopher would make the free throw to make it a 6-point game once again. Now Leno lays it up, no good, tips it right back in, however, and makes it a 4-point game. 8 minutes to go in the game. Christopher pulls up for 3, no good, rebounded by Whitney. He pump fakes a couple of times and then pulls up for the dunk, and it's a 6-point lead for Georgetown once again. Sacramento State burns a timeout. Now midway through the second half, Turkson going to pull up from the corner, drains the 3 to make it a 3-point game once again. Now here's a pass inside, back outside to Houston. He's wide open, and he drains the 3 right back at you, Sacramento State, he says. And it's once again a 6-point game. But then Hornsby right back at Georgetown now with a 3. And Sacramento State not going away quietly. And then here's Foster pulling up for another 3, and he hits another bucket. His second 3 of the game. Now 68-64, 5 minutes to go. And here's Gibson with a nice little move in the post to get the bucket to make it a 2-point game. Now it's a 4-point game again. Foster for another 3, no good. Rebounded by Gibson. Kicks it back out to Bills, and he's going to hit the 2 to make it a 2-point game again. Sacramento State not going away. Georgetown looking to put him away, however, as Rylan Lee with another layup to make it a 4-point game. Sacramento State burns another timeout. Sacramento State down 5. Foster misses a 3. Gibson able to pick it up, however. And he's going to kick it over the Bills. Inside the line, but he gets the bucket to make it a 3-point game. Georgetown looking to put Sacramento State away. Newsome for 3, no good. Rebounded by Lee. He's been an absolute glass eater in this game. That leads to a bucket, a 5-point game. Then Gibson going to turn it over. Lee with the steal. But then Bills is going to steal it right back. Cocks back and dunks it to make it a 3-point game with 2:29 to go. Sacramento State can definitely make a comeback here, but Houston going to hit a 3 and quiet down the Sacramento State momentum for now at least. But here's Gibson with a big dunk off the feed from Bills. Makes it a 4-point game. Georgetown burns the timeout. Now, under 2 minutes to go. Sacramento State still in it. No good, but Lee with another rebound. He's going to go back up with it to make it a 6-point game. Sacramento State has to hurry now. Gibson going to lay it up right over Lee for the bucket. Makes it a 4-point game. After a stop, Sacramento State back on the offensive as Foster gets the bucket and makes it a 2-point game. Under a minute to go. Sacramento State needs a couple of stops, but they're not going to get one there. Nance gets the bucket. Now a 4-point game. Here's a pass inside to Gibson. He gets the bucket to make it a 2-point game with 45 seconds to go. Sacramento State needs a stop here. Christopher double teamed. Oh, and a big steal by Bills. Bills going to pass it into Leno, but Leno's going to cough it up. Leno has to foul Newsome, and he blows a big opportunity to tie the ball game up. So now Sacramento State down by 4, and another turnover. Bills is going to foul Newsome from behind. That's going to be a clear path foul. Similar to what happened in the national championship game last year, if you're unfamiliar with what a clear path foul is, it's basically self-explanatory. If you foul somebody when they have a clear path to the bucket, they get 2 free throws and they get the ball back. So that effectively ends the game. Georgetown wins this one 92-86. A hell of an effort by Sacramento State to stay in this game, but Newsom and Lee were just way too much. Newsom was the player of the game. 24 points, 5 of 10 from the field, 11 for 14 from the free throw line, and 3 for 7 from three-point range with 6 assists, 3 steals, and 2 rebounds. Sacramento State was led by Mark Gibson with 19 points and Benny Bills with 19 points, so the freshmen really doing their thing. Clarence Foster has been a huge disappointment so far this year, only 11 points and 2 steals to go along with 5 turnovers. Rylan Lee with a hell of a game, 19 points, 20 rebounds, 4 steals, 3 assists, and 2 blocks in this one. Newsom had 24 points, like I said, Houston with 13, and Christopher with 10, and Whitney with 10 off the bench. Sacramento State just couldn't hold off the onslaught of Georgetown in the second half, and it ended up costing them the game. But again, a really good effort from Sacramento State. This is a very young team. You still have a few veterans here and there, but overall, the core of this team is pretty young. They'll get it together sooner or later, but it's really seeming without Nelson Evans and Sean Brock, this team just isn't the same. Next episode, we'll have a doubleheader as we take on Florida and Utah. I'll probably have a recruiting special the week that we play Buffalo, since that's the only period in which we'll be able to sign anybody. So I'll just kind of go through who we're looking at during that period, and maybe I'll play the Buffalo game. I might just super sim it. Let me know in the comment section if you actually want to see that game. But that's going to do it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching, as always. Make sure you guys hit that like button, hit the sub button if you're new as well, and you guys have yourselves a wonderful rest of your day, night, or whenever you're watching this. Like I always say, guys, no matter what happens, make sure you keep that motherfucker rolling. I love y'all 3,000. I'm Albie 5,000, and deuces.